we have entered module 4, finished half the course already, and we are into the solution of coupled equations, and we are specifically concerned with the question of how to solve together the set of continuity, momentum, energy and other equations. In the previous lecture, we have written down the equations for compressible flow and incompressible flow for a two-dimensional case, and we noted several aspects to those equations, including the fact that these are coupled in the sense that no equation can be solved by itself, and secondly that they have nonlinear terms, and thirdly that not all of them are in the standard scalar transport equation, in the model scalar transport equation. So, the question of how to solve these things, all these things together comes into picture, and we said that we will start with the compressible flow and then go on into the special difficulties that are associated with incompressible flow. Okay, so, we are now looking at compressible flow equations where we take advantage of a natural coupling that exists between the continuity and the momentum equations. Okay. So, we are looking at the equations written in a special way. These are nothing but the Navier-Stokes equations and the energy equation, but written in a special way for a 2D case, and the special way is that you are writing this as if it is like the continuity equation, like the one-dimensional wave equation that we considered without any diffusion term. So, if you look at this equation here, this is dou u by dou t plus dou e by dou x. If you put that equal to 0, you get the one-dimensional form, and if you put dou f by dou y equal to 0, you get the two-dimensional form. And what is special about this is that the three variables that are coming here, u, e and f, are vector quantities. So, u here is so this is a set of 4 equations representing the continuity equation, the x momentum conservation, y momentum conservation and the energy conservation equation. So, for each of those equations, u term takes 4 different values, similarly E takes 4 different values, and in that sense this is written in a vector form. For example, u here in the case of continuity it takes rho, and in the case of x momentum it is rho u, in the case of y momentum it is rho v, and in the case of energy equation this is the total energy which is expressed as rho times E, where small e is the internal energy, plus rho v square by 2, which is the kinetic energy. Okay. So, in that sense u takes on 4 different values for the 4 different equations, and similarly E and f. So, if you want to reconstruct from this the x momentum the continuity equation, you take the first value of this, first value of this and first value of this. So, if you substitute that here, you get dou rho by dou t plus dou by dou x of rho u plus dou by dou y of rho v equal to 0, and that obviously is the continuity equation. Now, if you are looking at the x momentum equation, you must take the second term here and the second term here and the second term here, and what is the second term here? This is rho u, whereas the second term of E here consists of 3 components, rho u square plus p minus tau xx, and we know that in the x momentum equation we have terms associated with dou by dou x of rho u square is what is coming here, and then you have minus dou p by dou x. Since it is brought to the left hand side, it has become dou p by dou x, and we also have dou by dou x of tau xx, and that when we bring it to the left hand side it becomes minus dou by dou x of tau xx. So, all the 3 terms are going into dou by dou x things. Similarly, the f term here is dou by dou y of rho u v, and that is there, and the other term tau x y or yx, it is symmetric. So this is dou by dou y of tau yx, and that has been brought to the left hand side to be made into dou by minus dou by dou y of tau xy. So if we now want to reconstruct the x momentum equation, we take this value from for u and all the three together for E and these two together for F. So that gives us dou by dou t of rho u, which we know, plus dou by dou x of rho u square plus dou p by dou x minus dou x by dou t of x tau xx, and plus dou by dou y of rho u v plus dou by dou y of minus tau ix other things. So if you were to take the taus onto the right hand side and then the p onto the right hand side, then what we will have for the x momentum equation is dou by dou t of rho u plus dou by dou x of rho u square plus dou by dou y of rho u v equal to minus dou p by dou x plus dou by dou x of tau xx plus dou by dou y of tau xy. It is the same as the x momentum equation that we had earlier. Similarly, in the y momentum equation, we have rho v is the term that is attributed to u, and the E term has rho u v minus tau xy, and the F term here has again three terms like this, rho v square plus p minus tau yy. So the pressure appears in dou by dou y term in the y momentum equation, and it appears as dou by dou x term in the x momentum equation as is expected. So now let us look at the last equation, that is the energy equation, and for the energy equation we take the last term for u here, again the last term for E and the last set of terms for F. Now let us just spend some time on this so that we are comfortable with these equations. So for this we put it as dou by dou t of E t, and where E t is rho e plus rho v square by 2, and this is what we had as the dou by dou t term, and here we have E t times rho plus p times, I think there is a u missing. I think there is a u missing here. It should be rho u here and rho v here. So this is dou by dou x of rho e t times u plus dou by dou y of rho e t times v, and similarly dou by dou x of rho p u plus dou by dou y of rho p v, and then you have the work done by the stresses tau xx times u and tau yx times v, and then tau yy times v, and then tau yx times u here, and then the heat fluxes. So all the terms come together in the form of the energy balance equation, and for simplicity we have written these as taus, but these taus are given by the Newtonian fluid approximation, that is tau ij is equal to mu times dou u I by dou xj plus dou u j by dou xi plus lambda times dou u k by dou xk. So it is the same definition that is there for the tau here. Similarly, qx is equal to minus k dou t by dou x and qy is minus k dou t by dou y. So these equations, although these are written in an unfamiliar form, are just regrouping of the earlier equations that we have seen in a specific format, which enables us to make use of the methods that we know before, okay, so that we have studied before. So we are going to just rewrite it like this and say that this equation here in terms of the vectors u, e and f represents actually 4 equations, and the 4 equations in the case of 2D are the conservation of continuity equation, conservation of x momentum equation, conservation of y momentum equation, and total conservation of total energy consisting of internal energy and kinetic energy. Okay. So, this is the form of the equation that we would like to solve. These are the coupled equations that we are trying to solve. Now, one method that we look at to start with is the McCormack explicit method, and let us first see what this method is for a simple case. For example, for the case of one dimensional wave equation, you can write it as dou u by dou t plus c times dou u by dou x equal to 0. We are quite familiar with this. So, for this particular equation, McCormack method solves it in a two-step process, as a predictor step and as a corrector step. We have seen the FTBS, FTCS, those kind of approximations for this, but this is a more advanced method which will actually help us deal with the nonlinearity when we extend it to the real case. So, in the simplest form, you have a provisional value of ui n plus 1 given by ui n plus 1 over bar here, and this is evaluated as the old value minus c delta t by delta x times ui plus 1 minus ui minus ui n. And if you look at this step carefully, this is nothing but FTFS, because if you bring this here and then divide by delta t, so this dou u by dou t is being evaluated as ui n plus 1 minus ui n divided by delta t, and then dou u by dou x here is being evaluated as ui plus 1 minus ui by delta x. So, this is the FTFS explicit form, which we know is unstable. Okay. So, now this is corrected, the value obtained by this is corrected in the next step as ui n plus 1 equal to half of ui n plus 1 bar plus ui n minus c delta t by delta x times ui n plus 1 bar minus ui minus 1 n plus 1 bar. So, what does it mean here? If you look at this, it is not quite like the previous one. This term here is the space derivative. So, dou u by dou x and you have the delta t that is coming from there, and here it is written as ui minus ui minus 1. So, it is backward spacing, but it is the intermediate values, the predictor values that are used here. Okay. So, if you look at this and this, the difference is these are the old step values and these are the provisional step values or the predictor step values, and here it is used as forward differencing and here we have used a backward differencing. So, together, taken together, we will get a central scheme in the case where you have no nonlinearity. In the case of nonlinearity, then there can be some small differences. So, the predictor step and corrector step formulation allows us to put an overall second order central scheme, but on the whole, despite using forward differencing here, because of the correction that is introduced here, we have an overall scheme which is conditionally stable. And what we would like to note here is that the spatial derivative is forward differenced I plus 1 minus I in the predictor step and backward differenced in the case of corrector step, and that is something that we would need to note and put accordingly. And the other thing is that we evaluate all the values of I in this 1D case, all the I values at n plus 1 bar, and then use those values here in order to evaluate the corrector step. Okay. So, this is old value, this is a new value at I, and these are the new values, provisional values of ui at n plus 1 ui and ui minus 1. So, now if you have it as a nonlinear equation, here C is constant, and what we typically have in our Navier-Stokes equation is a nonlinearity like dou u by dou t plus u dou u by dou x equal to 0. So, it is equal to, it is the same as dou square u by dou x of u square term is where that is coming. So, that can be written as u dou u in a sense with some manipulation. So, this is a nonlinear equation because u here is also being solved here, and this u and dou u by dou x will make it nonlinear. And this we put not in this particular form, but in the form of fluxes. Just as if you go to the second week's lecture of the first module, we expressed when we are doing the finite volume method, we expressed dou square w by dou x square plus dou square w by dou y square as del dot some f. So, the same kind of flux kind of terminology is being brought forward here. So, this it is written as dou f by dou x where f is equal to u square by 2. So, once you substitute this, then this comes out. So, these are mathematically equivalent, but this form is like the form that we are dealing with here. Okay. So, in that sense we have this particular form. We are anticipating having to use that form for the set of coupled equations. Now, if you have an equation like this, the McCormack scheme is applied in the following way. You had C here, now it is C equal to 1, and so you can write this as UIN plus 1 bar equal to UIN minus delta T by delta x, the value of flux at I plus 1 minus F at the flux at I at the nth step. Now, this is forward differencing. When you come to the corrector step, UIN plus 1, which is the final value that you are looking at, is half of the provisional value plus the old value minus delta T by delta x and Fi minus Fi minus 1, making it backward differencing based on the flux values evaluated at n plus 1 bar. So, this and this one are similar, except that you are putting it as a flux here in this particular thing, and that allows you to bring in the u into this and then make the evaluation here, and so that is how we can proceed. Now, this is all one dimensional form. Now, how do we do the multi-dimensional form and how do we do the coupled equations? So, we extend this to this vector equation, okay, this equation involving u, e, f as vectors in the straightest forward way here. So, we write, because it is a two dimensional thing, we have to now put it as uij n plus 1 bar, n plus 1 bar is uij at n minus delta T by delta x and e I plus 1 j n minus e I minus 1 I j n divided by delta x, okay, and f I j plus 1 minus f I j divided by delta y. So, when you look at this, it is exactly the same. So, here dou u by dou x is u I plus 1 minus u I divided by delta x, and the same thing is being put here, e I plus 1 minus e I divided by delta x. Similarly, this is dou f by dou y. So, this is written as f I j plus 1 minus f I j divided by delta y. We are not making any modification here for the fact that u, e and f are vectors. It is being used directly here, it is not necessary to make any change in this particular case. Okay. Now, the corrector step is put as uij n plus 1, this is the value that we are actually seeking, and this is half of uij n plus uij n plus 1 bar, it is the same as what we had earlier, there should be a bracket here, and minus delta T by delta x times e I j n plus 1 bar minus e I minus 1 j n plus 1 bar. So, this is again the same as what we had here, u I minus u I minus 1 based on the n plus 1 values, okay, or f I n plus 1 bar minus f I minus 1 n plus 1 bar. Okay. So, that is what we have here. So, the E and F are the fluxes, and the fluxes are being evaluated in backward differencing in the corrector step and forward differencing in the predictor step. So, that is the way that we can write down the scheme here, and the overall scheme is second order accurate in time and second order accurate in space. So, it is second order accurate and not first order accurate. So, you can say that it is more accurate and more likely to resolve the gradients as compared to there is less diffusion in this particular scheme. So, there is some merit in this, and how we actually do this given that u, e, f are vectors is that in each case for each equation we know the value what are the terms that are appearing here u, e and f. So, we first solve equation 1 here for the continuity equation. So, that gives us dou rho by dou t plus dou by dou x of rho u plus dou by dou y of rho v equal to 0. So, that equation is solved for u. Now, after we get u, we solve using this and this again, but taking the second values for rho u, and then the third equation for rho v and the fourth equation for E t. Okay. So, since we have rho from the first equation, we can substitute this here and we can get u, and we can substitute in this and we can get v, and E t is rho u rho e plus half rho v square. Okay. So, we know rho and we know the total E, and we also know u and v. So, from that you can get E, and once you get the internal energy and once you get rho, you can get pressure from the equation of state as a function of rho and d. And we can also get temperature as a function of the density and internal energy of that particular medium. So, this is one method by which we can solve all these equations. Okay. We can solve all the equations together in a compact form, but at each time step we are solving we are first solving one equation, the continuity equation, and that equation itself we solve as a predictor and corrector for all the I and j points, and then we go to the second, the x momentum equation terms here. We substitute these into this and then we substitute them into the corresponding form here, and we solve all of them to finally get rho u I j at n plus 1 for all the I and j. Okay. So, and then we solve the same equation for rho v to get rho v at n plus 1 for all I j, and then we also get E t for I plus 1 n plus 1 for all I j, and from that we can deduce u v, and from this we can deduce internal energy, and from the calculated density and internal energy we get pressure and also temperature. So, we can recover u v w p t in this particular way, making use of the continuity equation to get density, the x momentum equation to get rho u, and since we know density we can get u from that, and the y momentum equation to get rho v, and from that we get v, and from the energy equation we get total energy, and since we know the kinetic energy components and density, we can get the internal energy, and we get these by solving the appropriate partial differential equations using the McCormack scheme, and from that, from known rho and d at every point at every I j, we can get the corresponding pressure at that particular I j, and similarly temperature at that I j. So, in this way we can get all the equations, but there is slightly more elaboration that is needed here, because we have not said anything about taus and q's and all that. So, let us just look at the treatment of viscous stresses. Okay. So, here we have fluxes E and F are evaluated in the McCormack method using forward and backward differencing in the predictor and the corrector steps respectively. Now, viscous stresses are somewhat strange here because they contain both normal stresses and normal derivatives and cross derivatives. So, what do we mean by normal derivative and cross derivative? If you take tau I x, this is mu dou u by dou x plus dou v by dou y plus dou u by dou y plus dou v by dou x. Okay, so now if you look at this equation here, you have dou by dou x of E, and if you look at this one here, this E has a component tau xx, and similarly it has tau xy here. So when you consider when you consider the y momentum equation, there is a component like dou by dou x of tau xy. Okay. Now, so that means that you have dou by dou x of this whole thing. Now here you have dou by dou x of u so you will have dou square u by dou x dou y here and dou square v by dou x square here. So there is one which is coming as dou x square normal derivative, and there is one which is coming as dou x dou y, it is a cross derivative, and these kind of things will also appear in other equations. So the result of the viscous stresses is that there are some components which appear with cross derivatives, so that is dou x dou y here, and some which appear as normal derivatives dou square x. Okay. So and similarly we can have dou square y and dou x dou y terms when we consider other things. So how do we treat these terms? The prescription is that treat normal derivatives using forward and backward differences and cross derivatives using central differences. So if you consider the term f, this is the term, and if you are looking at the x component of it, okay, so that is this particular thing here, okay, okay, f in the x equation is rho u v minus tau yx, okay, tau xy, and that is what we have here, rho u v minus tau yx, where tau yx is mu dou u by dou y plus dou v by dou x. So we substitute this here, and so the x component of f term is rho u v minus mu dou u by dou y minus dou v by dou x. So how do we write this in the predictor step? So in the predictor step we have fx ijk in 3 dimensions at n is evaluated. So you have fijn, for example, this term is evaluated as rho u v at ijk plus mu times this one here is dou u by dou y, okay, but this is dou by dou x, okay. So that means that we no, this f term is actually dou by dou y, so this becomes dou square y by dou y dou square u by dou y square, so that is a normal derivative. So in the case of normal derivative, in the predictor step we use ijk minus ij minus 1k, so this is backward differencing, and the same term in the corrector step is written as ij plus 1 minus ij, so this is forward differencing. So when you look at how we are evaluating this term in the predictor step and in the corrector step, we see that in one case we make use of backward differencing, the other case we make use of forward differencing. We can use here forward differencing, in which case we have to use here backward differencing. Now if you look at this term here, this is also some dou v by dou x, okay, this is also another derivative. And how do we evaluate this? We evaluate this as, this is dou v by dou x, and it is evaluated as v I plus 1 minus v I minus 1 by 2 delta x, there should be 2 here. So that is being evaluated as a central differencing. And why is it being evaluated as central difference? Because you are looking at f term, and f term always appears with dou by dou y. Okay. So, that means that this particular term here is dou by dou y of this here. So, that becomes dou square v by dou x dou y. So, that makes it a cross derivative, and cross derivatives must be used evaluated using central differences, and therefore, we write this as dou square x dou y, that particular thing is evaluated as v I plus 1 minus v I minus 1 by 2 delta x at n, and in the corrected step again it is v I plus 1 minus v I minus 1 by 2 delta x, the same mistake, but the same idea here. So, it is I plus 1 I minus 1, making it central here and central here, whereas this term, which in the f term is dou square u by dou y square, and therefore, it is a normal term, is evaluated as j minus j minus 1. So, it is a backward differencing, and here it is forward differencing j plus 1 minus j. Okay. So, this is with this detail, it is now possible to go back to every term that is there in this, and then put the appropriate way of differentiation here, evaluating each of those derivatives and other things that are coming here, and then we can evaluate the whole thing. Now, one final thing we would like to note is that if you look at this evaluation here, this is uij n plus 1 bar, and it is expressed in terms of uij n, ei plus 1 n, ei n, and fij plus 1 n, fij n. So, everything on the right hand side is a time step of n. So, this is known, and therefore, this is explicit evaluation of uij n plus 1 bar. Now, if you come to corrector step, this is uij n plus 1 value is expressed in terms uij n, this is known, uij n plus 1 is already evaluated. So, this is known here, and eij n plus 1, that is known because you have already evaluated all the u, v, p, w and rho, temperature, all those things are evaluated. So, this is known, and again ei minus 1 j n plus 1, this is known, this is known, this is known, again this is explicit. So, this is an explicit predictor corrector type of approach for the solution of the coupled equations, and this is the McCormack scheme, which has been used for compressible flow calculations. It is proposed in 1969, and it was a successful method. So, in the next lecture we will see an alternative method, and we will look at what is a difficulty with this, and we will look at an alternative method for that, which is an improvement on this.